Hello everyone! So you want to apply for jobs on Upwork, but you don't know how to write the job proposal? In this video, I'm going to show you how you write a proposal from scratch to get invited to interviews on Upwork. I'll show you the writing process along with mistakes to avoid and what you should include. So let's dive into it. So let's jump into Upwork. Let's click Find Work up here. First, sort out by newest job posts. You don't want to apply for work that's expired or too old. You might be surprised how many people do without paying attention to the day and time the work was posted. If the job post is too old and still open, usually means the recruiter is not serious or taking too long to select a candidate. This kind of recruiters is not worth your time. First, read the description. If the job aligns with your background or some of the skills you have and you decide to apply, obviously check the rates they're offering and the duration of the contract. But please don't apply to jobs only based on the rates offered, because you might start working with someone or an agency with lower rates. Once you build a relationship with them, a professional one I mean, and you build up trust, they might increase your rates. So if we go down here, you can check what skills and qualification they're looking for, and don't forget to check what level of expertise they're looking for. Some of them they look for entry level, usually those are looking for a low rates payment, or they're looking for an expert. Now check the recruiter's profile on Upwork. Good. If everything looks good and you still want to go ahead and apply, check the recruiter's profile on Upwork. Check the reviews if they have any. Are they mostly 5 stars? If not, check what the clients say about them. Also check if their payment is verified. You don't want to waste your time with a recruiter who's not committed, who didn't go through the payment verification process. As you check all these things and you're sure you want to apply, and check how many connects it costs you to apply for this work. Don't waste your connects on jobs that you know you won't be accepted. It will be just a waste of time. If you read job description and the tasks and you have no clue how to do the work, or you don't have any experience, and on the top of that there are so many proposals already on this post, it's unlikely that you will get this job. So you will be wasting your connect. Now, let me show you how you write the proposal itself. I'm going to write a proposal for this agency. You can see their job description. They're called Open Silver. So if you're applying for a person and they do provide their name, some of them do, you can search their name on LinkedIn or Facebook, on social media, just to check what the person background. If it's company or an agency, they usually give you the agency name. You should go and check them. Check their website or on social media. I advise to check their website if they have one. Usually they do. And that's what I did. So I checked the job description of Open Silvers, and then straight away I checked their website. So this is their website. You can see they do migrate systems apparently from Silverlight to Open Silvers using some programming languages. This is not my background. I don't know much about it, but I'll try my best to write a proposal that get the person I'm writing for an invite for an interview. After you read the description and so on, you go down here and check what are the questions asked by this recruiter. So they usually have, depends, 2, 3 or more questions. You have to write answers tailored to exact questions, to this exact company, not the question, to this exact company. Because if you don't, they won't take you seriously and you will be just wasting your connect. If you're serious about it, take the time, do your research, and answer each question carefully. That's what I'm going to try to do here. So this agency are asking two questions. The first one is, how do you approach difficult conversations with customers? As the position is sales assistant for software services company. So obviously they will be dealing with a lot of difficult customers. The second question is, describe your recent experience with similar project. And that's a kind of standard question. So what I did is, well, first I must say that I have the CV of the person I'm writing for, but the CV doesn't include much information. They're kind of bullet points, but to expand on them, I have to do some research, and it will kind of help me build up hopefully nicely written paragraphs. Obvious thing to do was to copy paste this question on Google. I got few articles and blogs written on how to deal with the difficult customers. So I took the time to read all of them, or I should say skim read through them, and I got an idea what I'm going to write about. I'm not saying that imagining this situation and the person didn't have this situation, but they did. I asked the person and they said they dealt with so many difficult customers, but again, they're not native English speakers either, so it was difficult for us to translate the story like word by word. It would be weird, to be honest. Especially this specific agency are recruiting someone who obviously is competent in English, so it must be written properly. So as I finished reading all those blogs, I've written some bullet points first of the main idea I'm going to expand on, the main idea I'm going to write about. So usually you start your first paragraph by writing a general, like kind of introductory lines to the subject, to the problem. That's what I did here, and then go in more details. So in this first question, I try to prove to this agency the skills they're looking for in communication and interpersonal skills, but in a proven situation that happens with difficult customers, and how to deal with them, and making it more credible by giving them different scenarios. And that's obviously taken from real situations with difficult customers. So let me read the first paragraph for you to see what I'm talking about. So I started by just rewriting the question by saying, when I have difficult conversations with a particular customer or a client, I start by understanding what made the customer-client communicate in such way. First, I'm demonstrating that I want to understand why and understand the problem to be able to solve it. So tough conversations arise due to different reasons. The issue could come from our side, like myself or the member of the company I work for, or it could be caused by the customer. So I'm trying to explain what could lead to difficult conversations. Regardless of how the issue arises, I make sure I listen to them and note down all what they communicate to myself, and then ask them specific questions to make sure I understood their problems and show them that we care as a company about their issues. And then I start to give them examples, to reinforce the idea I'm talking about here. So if, for example, a client is dissatisfied with the result of a project, I ask them to suggest what they would like to happen. So depending on the company policies and the contract signed, if I am the one who did the job, I will try to fix it. Here I'm trying to give them what action I would be doing and giving them different scenarios just to give them an idea how I would deal with this kind of difficulty. And then the following paragraphs, again, I'll just give them examples and try to convince them that I do know how to deal with difficult customers. As for the second question, which is describing a recent experience with similar project, I have obviously had to reference the CV of the person, resume of the person I'm writing for. And I took the most relevant job experience of this person to this sales assistant work I'm applying for. And I started by saying I worked as a sales team leader at such and such. And I also gave them the link of the company I've worked for in case they want to check. Then I started to explain in just one sentence what the company does, just to be able to explain later on, to expand later on what they do and what was my role within this, not my role, I mean the person I'm writing for, role in that company. So I wrote as a team leader, not only do I have to manage the team members, I'm writing in a present tense. Usually past tense would be more suitable here, but I think I can get away with past present tense. So not only I have to manage the team members and delegate the task to them and train them, but I also had to cover sales assistants positions. So I'm writing this phrase because the person worked as a manager and was covering simple sales assistant positions when needed. I go and explain further what is done in that job. That is direct communication with customers, understanding their needs, accommodating their requests, and solving their problems. For instance, now I'm giving examples. Always give examples from that really happened in your job or experience or something that gives more credibility to what you're saying. That you show the recruiter you're not just pulling some information from the internet and writing nice paragraphs there to get the job. So you have to put some examples there. For instance, if a customer complains of the device and they're not working or has some issues, depending on the situation, I either screen the device on site or troubleshoot it when the customer attends in person. I'm showing that if I'm not able to solve the problem, I escalate the problem to the back office who has higher access and more systems to solve the issue. I'm showing them that I try to fix the problem myself. If I can't, I have to escalate it, and I go further and tell them that I won't leave the customer's problem unsolved and make sure they leave us happy as a company. So this shows that you're responsible and obviously you care about the customer because you're the image of the company. And then I go further to explain a little bit more. I keep this paragraph short, but I hope you got the idea. Now, the other thing that I wanted to say, general advice, but that's from my experience. Try to use synonyms and not to repeat the same words over and over in your proposal. It might seem obvious, but some people just don't bother repeating the same words. Search on Google, put the word and then write synonym next to it and just find another synonym that fits in that sentence. Also, check which verb can be used with which noun or adjective. I give you an example. When I was writing conversation and I wanted some verb to go with it, I wrote arise, conversations arise, and I thought, do we say conversation arise? And then I went and checked it on Google, and it's correct. I'll give you another example. This is not a verb example. I wrote caused from. We don't say caused from, caused by. So please pay attention to these kind of English mistakes because they do impact your proposal. People won't recruit you, especially English speaker recruiters. If in doubt, search it. Type what you have written in Google and check it. If you find similar phrases to what you've written, it means correct. If you don't find it, means it's not correct. The other thing I wanted to say is, if you have an idea in your head and you're thinking, no, it's not the right idea, it's not how it should be written, maybe you're translating it from your mother tongue and it's not English, just write it down because the idea will disappear. So just write it down and then you can modify it later. It happens to me so many times that I think, oh no, that's not the right sentence, and then the idea is gone. Don't forget to write a good cover letter as well. Oh, and another advice is use the keywords from the job description. If you go down here, you can see the keywords or skills they're looking for. So if you can insert them in your paragraphs, naturally it will be really good. Not the keywords, but the skills, I meant. And some of the keywords in the job description. Another thing that I forgot to mention about writing paragraphs, don't write long sentences. 2 or more lines for one sentence is too long. And it won't look good. It won't look good. It's just not nice to read. Also, don't use capital letter randomly, as I've seen this on some of the freelancer profiles. So, to help you with the grammar, use Grammarly, the free version if you like. It's really useful to keep your paragraph grammatically correct, and it corrects all your spellings as well. I do use it and I like it. My final advice is just be honest and do the work as best as you can. What work I mean, the search, the writing, and don't lie about your experience or what skills you have, because they will figure out later. It's not worth it. And that's all for today. If you have any questions regarding Upwork, applications, or writing proposals, drop them in the comments below and I'll try to answer them.